Hey everyone, happy Monday. Is this the first Monday in December? I think it is. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to another week of the Creatress Chat. My name is Saida, and I'm the founder and CEO of SM Media Enterprise and the Creatress Universe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to have you guys join me today. I'm excited to talk a little bit about today's topic because not only will it help you possibly, hopefully crossing my fingers, but it'll also be a great segue to kind of like preview some things that are going to happen with the Creatress Universe in 2021. But before I do that, do I want to just hop in or did I have something else to say? We'll come back because, my brain is everywhere today. So today I wanted to talk about how to know when to pivot. So, I don't like change. I am a stick to the routine type of a gal. I like my routines. I like my focus. I like to be able to know what's going to happen next. So I am not a big fan of change. However, as we all know in life, in business, in anything, change is inevitable. So the thing that I have been learning the past few weeks is kind of knowing when you need to make a pivot in your business or when you need to make a pivot in your branding or in what you do for your brand. And over the last few weeks, I've noticed a few things that has like really pushed me and caused me to pivot. So one, I noticed that my motivation kind of like dip down. I wasn't motivated to create anything. I wasn't motivated to do these lives. I wasn't motivated to post anything, create new content or anything like that because I kind of, I don't want to say lost my way, but I kind of realized that what I was doing in the past wasn't working, and I didn't have the motivation to continue to create things that didn't work. So one thing to notice when you know it's time to kind of like make a pivot is if your motivation to create kind of gets low. There will be moments when you are in the throw of things and you just don't have the motivation to create because you may be burnt out or something like that. And that's not necessarily an indication to pivot. There are differences between needing to pivot and being burnt out. But for me, it was just like this consistent period of not wanting to create, not wanting to do anything, of being confused about what I wanted to create for the brand. So I knew I needed to shift what I was doing. Another thing I noticed over the few weeks that I kind of came to the realization that it was time to make a pivot was that, like I said, things were not working. I have a marketing background, and in marketing, you experiment, you shift, you experiment, you shift, you experiment, you shift. And that's like the constant cycle in marketing. So if something is not working, if an ad is not providing the proper conversions or a copy is not resonating with people, you shift it and you change it. So I noticed that a lot of things that I was doing was not working. So that was indication to make a pivot. So if you're working and you're branding things and you're creating content for your audience and it's not working, it's not getting the sales that you want, it's not getting the engagement that you want, then that might be indication that it's time to pivot. And then the last thing that I would say would be indication that it's time to make a pivot is the times, sign of the times. Things shift throughout the years, trends shift, social media shifts, business norms shift, everything shifts. And in order to stay relevant, you have to shift when things shift. You have to be able to meet your audience where they are. To a certain extent. So as I always study at the end of the year, the trends and stuff that happened in the past year. And then I also study projections for trends for the next year. For example, like in email marketing, a bunch of email marketing service providers often put out reports like these are the projected trends that we have noticed will be for the next year. So I always study that type of stuff, the trends in social, the trends in content creation, and I use that as a basis to kind of evaluate what I'm doing now and what I need to do in the future to stay relevant and to connect with my audience. So that's 3 things that I've learned to realize that I need to pivot. 1, motivation is super, super low. 2, if what you're doing is not working. And then 3, if the trends and the business norms and standards, industry standards are shifting. So that's what you need to do. If you have no motivation, if what you're doing is not working and industry standards are shifting, then it's time to make a pivot in your business. And making a pivot does not always mean, I hope this is not too blurry. Making a pivot does not always mean completely throwing out everything that you've done in the past and doing something completely brand new. Pivoting is just simply like adjusting the direction that you're going in. And I'll use the Creatress Universe as an example. In our pivot over the next couple of months that you will see will be a pivot in branding. So our branding is going to get updated. It'll be a pivot in our content creation and what type of content we create. I know a lot of our content is focused on product and what we offer. And a lot of our content moving forward will be focused on value and what we can teach. I feel like my camera is freezing. Okay, hold on. I am going to shift cameras because I don't want you guys to miss this. So bear with me. Okay. Hey, that's better. Okay, so a lot of what we do has been based on a product. So we'll provide value that relates to a product, and a lot of what we're going to do in the future is just going to be straight value based, because I realized that we need to offer more value. So that's a pivot that we're making. I'm making a pivot in the way that our website is set up so that people can know exactly what we do and what we offer up front. So those are a few of the pivots that I'm making in the Creatress Universe to kind of shift how we do things and to kind of resonate with you guys a little bit more and kind of offer more value to you. So that's an example of how we're pivoting without changing our main mission. Our mission is still going to be supporting and uplifting women of color in the media industry. It's still going to be building community. It's still going to be providing resources for women of color content creators. That's not changing. That's not what's pivoting. What's pivoting is the way that we do that and the way that we act on the mission. So when you're thinking about how to pivot in your brand or in your business, don't think about throwing everything out and starting from scratch. Build on what you already have done and see how you can take it to the next level, see how you can advance it, see how you can expand on it, and how you can make it better. That's what pivoting is, and that's what makes it important. Because again, like I said, as time goes on and as industry standards change, as you change as a business owner, as your audience grows and evolves and changes, you're going to have to make those small pivots to stay relevant and to connect with your audience. So that is my advice for this Monday. How to know when to pivot in your business and some examples of what you can do to pivot. I hope that this has been valuable for you. I don't have any announcements other than keep your eyes out for the new things that we have going on with the Creatress Universe. I'm excited for what 2021 has to offer and has to bring. I'm excited to see what comes to fruition in this next year. And also keep an eye out too, because the rest of these lives that we're going to do for December are going to be on goal setting, and we're probably going to do some vision board stuff, which is exciting. I love vision boarding, and I love kind of mapping out things for the next year. So keep an eye out for that, and I will see you guys when I see you next Monday. Have a good one.